Hey there, listeners. Welcome to Hines on Air, your weekly dose of inspiration, motivation, and real-life entrepreneurial stories. I'm Matt Hines, your host, and I'm excited to have you join me on this journey. From building a successful law firm to venturing into other industries like real estate and social media, I've experienced both the triumphs and the challenges that come with entrepreneurship. I've learned firsthand the importance of resilience, adaptability, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. On Hines on Air, we're diving deep into the world of business, law, and personal growth. Join me as I chat with incredible guests who have faced adversity, defied expectations, and achieved extraordinary success. We'll discuss their strategies, their mindset, and the lessons they've learned along the way. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned business owner, or simply someone looking for a little inspiration, Hines on Air is for you. Remember to subscribe, like, and leave a review whenever you listen to podcasts. Your support helps us reach more people and continue sharing these incredible stories. Let's get started. This program is being sponsored by Law Offices of Matthew C. Hines. The Law Offices of Matthew C. Hines helped all individuals who have been involved in a car accident, who have been injured at work, or have been arrested or given tickets. We make sure your rights are protected and that you receive all the benefits allowed under the law. Visit us at www.hineslaw.org, hineslaw.org. Hey everybody, Matt Hines, Hines on Air. We're coming at you with some tragic news. You probably have already heard about the horrible, senseless death of Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was a good human being. Not all of us agreed with all of his politics. I did not agree with everything he said. I agreed a lot with what he said, but there was no denying he was an absolutely wonderful person. I had the pleasure of seeing Charlie Kirk speak several months ago out at a Grant Cardone event in California, and you got to see that side of Charlie Kirk, the real side, the hard worker who had really done a lot to rise to the level which he's become. Sometimes those happen behind the scenes and you don't realize how much work and dedication somebody has put into what they're doing to achieve that level of greatness that they have. Now, Charlie Kirk had become a worldwide phenomenon with his politics, with his speaking, with his campus visits, but he had gone around the campuses and he was willing to debate anybody and everybody on any issue. And that's pretty brave. You got to have a lot of confidence in yourself to stand out there and put your knowledge up against a stranger's because you don't know what they're going to say. It's all being recorded, but you got to applaud somebody that's that brave and that courageous and that confident in their own skills to sit there and challenge anybody. But Charlie did that. He made a name for himself and he did very well. And he influenced a lot of people and he had a lot of great ideas. But one of the most observable things that I saw about Charlie was just he was a good person and a good father and a great family person. And that's the part that really affects me is that he has a wife and two girls who are not going to have their husband and their father now. That breaks my heart, or more than anything, that breaks my heart. So I'm sorry to Charlie, to his family, to his friends, to everybody who was following him and was influenced by him. I hope we all can work through this and let Charlie live on in our memories, in our faiths, in our politics, and how we handle others. Because no matter whether he agreed or disagreed with you, he was respectful. It was pretty amazing. When he would battle some of these students on the college campuses, from what I saw, he was never condescending to anybody. Even though they said really stupid things sometimes, he was not condescending. He would engage in conversation and try to enlighten them with a little Socratic method or just a little bit of logic. But he was not rude, which is what I appreciate because he's very intelligent and he has the ability to be rude because a lot of times he's a lot smarter than somebody else that he's arguing with. But he wasn't. He was respectful and he carried himself with grace, and we will miss Charlie. I think the world lost someone great. And I'd like to bring something even more sinister, I guess you could say, but there seems to be a constant effort to silence those who speak out against you. And it's not just with Mr. Kirk. It happened with Donald Trump, but we also see it in other areas. Most people have heard of Andrew Tate by now. He's a worldwide phenomenon. He says a lot of things. Some things you agree with, some things you don't, some things you think are horrible. But I think, for the most part, I like Andrew Tate. I think he says a lot of very sagacious, very wise things. He's got an insight into areas that a lot of people don't have, and he has the ability to articulate it extremely well. Now, he'll say some things about women, about money and stuff that's sometimes annoying. But for the most part, I like Andrew Tate. Now, he speaks out against the government. He speaks out against things that he thinks are injustice. And most people remember not too long ago, out of nowhere, Romania, that is where he's from, but Romania charges him with human trafficking and other very serious charges out of nowhere. And then the UK charges him with rape and other charges. Maybe it's not rape, but sexual type charges that are going to put him away forever. Now, these charges are all pending, but it's just a nasty situation when people, and I don't believe this is done in the good faith of these court systems. I don't think Romania is acting on their own and in good faith, and I don't think the UK is either. I think this is an effort to silence somebody who's saying something that they don't disagree with, and that is all it is. That's a shame. That should not be happening in the U.S. or anywhere else, in the UK, Romania, or anywhere else. Russell Brand is another example. He's a YouTube personality. He used to be an actor, great person. Some people will recognize him. He was married to Katy Perry for a while. But anyway, he is very outspoken on his beliefs, was very outspoken against the COVID epidemic, was very sort of distrustful of the way government and other big corporations have done things. And all of a sudden, he's now charged with rape and other charges in the UK for acts that supposedly happened between 1999 and 2005. So something that happened 20 to 25 years ago, suddenly they want to put him in jail and silence him forever. These are efforts to silence. Again, these are not good faith attempts at justice or good faith attempts to protect an innocent victim. These are efforts to just silence somebody who is saying something that another government or political body disagrees with. That's all. That needs to stop. And I hate to compare that with what happened with Charlie Kirk or anything like that, because they're both horrible. And you can't compare what just happened to Charlie Kirk with anything. That was the most horrendous thing, one of the most horrendous things I've ever seen. But behind it all is an effort to silence someone who says something that you're against. The attempt on Donald Trump, of course, is the exact same thing. Now, we don't know what motivated that kid to shoot at Donald Trump. It's shocking that we still don't know much about that kid. But certainly, he disagreed with something Trump was doing, or he was told to disagree with something that Trump was doing. So no matter what it is, whether it's concocting these bogus criminal charges to put someone in jail to silence them, or assassinations attempts, we have to be willing to talk and listen without getting so emotional that it drives us to the level of insanity. You have to be able to talk and listen. And this is not new stuff. This happened. This goes back to JFK, folks. JFK, most people just know of JFK as that good-looking president, maybe was with Marilyn Monroe, and he was assassinated. I don't think a lot of people know a lot of behind what led to that attempt, the assassination. People say possibly the CIA was involved. There is a lot of evidence to go for that. People say that it was because he wanted to pull us out of the Vietnam War, or because he wanted to be friendly with Cuba, or because he wanted to create money in the U.S. Treasury and not with the Federal Reserve System. He was doing a lot of things that people disagreed with, and suddenly he got shot. And then they want to cover up the circumstances of his shooting, which a lot of people have accepted. I think I saw a poll on the internet, 68% of everybody polled believe that there's some sort of a conspiracy behind the JFK. That's pretty amazing, because for the longest time, people just dismissed that as conspiracy. Now 68% of the people thought there is much more to the story, whether it's CIA involvement or some people say mafia. I don't know. I feel strongly the CIA was involved. But anyway, everybody, be willing to listen and understand. Don't try to keep emotions out of the discussion, and just look for some point of agreement and let us move forward together. Charlie Kirk did a great job at that. And whoever did this, there's got to be some form of drug use, insanity, something going on behind it. Because honestly, there's just not a whole lot that Charlie Kirk said that could have driven you to the point of doing something like this. So there's something else going on. He was being influenced in some way. That's my opinion, of course, but something else was going on. This is not, you hear Charlie Kirk support Donald Trump, or you hear him say this, and then you want to go assassinate him. There's much more going on here, and I pray that the government, that the FBI, that the governor of Utah, that somebody gets to the bottom of this. So, again, I wish the best to Charlie Kirk's family, to all those affected by it, to America. I hope we heal fast. Let's move forward together, and let's make the country better. Everyone, if you've listened to what I've said and you have an opinion, whether it's an agreement or a disagreement, I would love to hear from you. Leave us a comment, share this video, like it, and please follow us on the next Hines on Air.